Hey everyone, today we will learn how to build better responsive design by writing less code using the plugin called Fluid Tailwind. It is a Tailwind plugin which scales utilities smoothly between breakpoints using the CSS clamp function. You'll see a live demo on the documentation and the code, how it works, the syntax. So let's learn it. First, you need to install the package Fluid Tailwind as a dev dependency. Then you just need to go to the Tailwind config file. By the way, this is a NextJS project. You need to import these 4 things: the Fluid plugin itself, the extract function, the screens, and the font size object. So in the default config, if you have a content array, you need to get rid of that. You need to use a content object. And inside the object, you need to pass the files array, which will be the paths for the files that need to be included for Tailwind CSS. And then you need to pass the extract function. That's why we need to use the content object instead of an array. And then inside the themes object, you need to pass these 2 more objects, screens and font size. And finally, you need to add the Fluid plugin in the plugins array. That's it for the setup. So let's learn how to use this. So when you want to make an element responsive, you would add classes like this. It will change the style, in this case the font size, on every breakpoint that you will add. But with Fluid plugin, you will be able to do this with a single class. So let's get rid of this. To add a Fluid class name, you need to first add the tilde sign, then the class name. In this case, I want to change the font size, so I will add text. And then the value for the smallest breakpoint, the smallest screen. So I would say LG, and then /, and then another value for the biggest breakpoint. So let's say 4XL. So for smallest breakpoint, the value would be LG, and the biggest breakpoint, the value would be 4XL. And the default breakpoints are these in Tailwind. So the smallest breakpoint is SM. The minimum width has to be 640 pixel, and the biggest breakpoint 2XL, and the minimum width has to be 1536 pixels. In our web page, the device width is now 364 pixels, and the font size is 18 pixels. The LG font size has the value of 18 pixel, and the 4XL has 36 pixel. Now our breakpoint is on SM. That's why we have the smallest value, 18 pixels. And if I cross the SM breakpoint, it should be more than 640 pixels. And now you see the font size has been increased a bit. And as I increase the screen width, you see the font size is also changing. But if I cross the biggest breakpoint, 1536 pixels, now you see the font size is now 36 pixels. And doesn't matter how much I increase the screen width, the font size never changes. But if I shrink down again, the font size again changes. And once I hit the SM breakpoint, the font size becomes 18 pixel, and it will never go below that. So that's how this Fluid plugin works. Though it has some limitations, you will see them in the documentation. You won't be able to use 2 different units, for example, rem and pixel at the same time. Plus, if your breakpoints are used in pixel, you won't be able to use the values using rem. You won't be able to use non-literal values like calc. Also, you won't be able to use non-length like properties like colors, background colors, and so on. Tailwind version 3's default breakpoints are in pixels. That's why you need to add the spacing and the font size object to your theme. If you don't want to use the default breakpoints, you can add your own breakpoints using this Fluid method in the themes object. You need to pass an array, and the left value will be the smallest value, and the right value would be the biggest value. But I'm not going to bother about it. This also gives you the accessibility checks. If your style doesn't meet the accessibility standard, then you will see an error as a comment, though it will not break your code. But you can disable it by passing this property to the Fluid plugin. The default value is true, you can pass it to false. By default, it will use the smallest breakpoint and the largest breakpoint. But for single utilities, you will be able to use different breakpoints. For example, instead of using SM for small and 2XL for large, this example uses MD and LG for the start and end breakpoint. Let's do that in our code. So first you need to add a tilde sign, and then you do specify the starting breakpoint, let's say MD, and then a /, and then the ending breakpoint, let's say LG, and then you need to pass the fluid class name, and there won't be any spacing in between. So now our font size is 18 pixel, but now if I cross the SM breakpoint, the font size is still 18 pixel, but if I cross the MD breakpoint, which is 768 pixel, then the font size should increase. Now you see the font size is increased, and if I cross the LG breakpoint, 1024 pixels, now you see the font size is 36 pixels. Doesn't matter how much I increase the width, the font size will be increased. You will also be able to use container queries. You can even use custom prefix or separator. You have also integration with Tailwind merge. Now, if you pass a fluid class name that just won't work, you won't get any error like you see in JavaScript. Instead, you will see the error text as a comment in your CSS class. You'll be able to see in the inspector like this. You'll also get hover definition if you have the IntelliSense plugin for VS Code, or if you're using a language server for NeoVim. If I show you the definition, it looks like this. If you have an error, you will be able to see here. So that's how this plugin works. Let me know if you like it or not. If the video has been helpful for you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.